My mind thinking of something and my consciousness is watching it. This is just the game of the mind. This is the old recorded tape that is playing inside my head. I just have to ignore it. I do not have to take it very seriously. Because when somebody does something to you, most of the time what comes into your mind is that that person did it. Okay. If you try to control your mind, it is not going to be controlled, because over the time it has evolved to a certain stage that it will do whatever it is doing right now. Hi, Namaskaram, welcome back. Can I say something personal today? Personal doesn't mean it's a secret that if I tell you, do not tell anybody. It's not that kind of. But it is something that is very, it's very close to me, the experience. And I do not want to share it because not everybody will be able to understand it. And just because not everybody will understand it, they will make something out of it. They will make some conclusion out of it. They will say something about it. So whenever I experience something which I cannot articulate in terms of logic, and I cannot give it expression in terms of logic, I always hide that to myself. So I thought maybe I can dare to share at least a few experiences of mine in this particular video. So if you give me that comfort, then definitely I would be able to share. So anyway, I'm going to make this video. But if you are watching this video, then do not judge in terms of what is exactly happening. Do not judge in terms of, do not try to get conclusion out of it. Just see it as a simple experience only. So now, is there any point of watching this video because it's not going to be helpful to you? There is a catch over here. It might become a lot of helpful to you because what I experience given me a different perspective, different way of seeing the same world. It is the same world, right? Where both of us think, but perspectives are always different. So in my perspective, the way I see it gives me a lot of privilege towards a lot of different actions. So point is, if I see this way, then I can think of trying something in that way. If you see from that way, you can think of trying something the other way. But sometimes there are some ways in which you cannot think of doing anything about it. But if you just change the perspective, you can get some idea that yes, I can do something about it. So without making a lot of confusion, what essentially I want to try is, if you just change the perspective, then everything about the situation changes. The things that you think might not happen, somewhere you feel like maybe there is a possibility still there. So that is what you may get out of my own experience. So without making further ado, let's dive into the experience, what exactly happened. So I remember it is somewhere around second day or third day of my Sunyo initiation. Last completely 1 week was gone and I was completely into programs. I was not allowed to go outside. Everything I was doing about this program only, and Sadhguru has been teaching about life. He was saying that whenever you are eating, whenever you are walking, every time you need to become conscious and all. So particularly eating part, they asked us to become more conscious, because it is not only about what you are eating that matters, but it is also about how you are eating that matters also. So that day, second day of Sunyo initiation, somebody told me something that I didn't feel good about. I know I did not have any mistake, but it is the nature of people that they will tell you always that they think that it is your mistake only. So that is how the person said to me, and I logically, intellectually I could understand it. It's okay, because there are people like that, and everywhere people are like this only. There is no, I mean, you cannot change anybody. There are going to be this kind of people only. Ideal people do not exist in the world. These are the people, and they will remain the same. No matter what you do about them, no matter what you do to yourself, everything is going to remain same. I knew this fact, but despite of that, I was feeling constantly bad about that situation, that somebody told me something like that. Why would somebody tell me like that? So I went to the Bhiksha, old Bhiksha. I was eating the food, and constantly that thought is going on inside my head, and I was not being able to distinguish between that thought. I was constantly feeling bad, and I did not know why I'm feeling bad. The moment I started eating food, I started becoming conscious, because this is something that I have been trying, I have been practicing for several days now. So the moment I became conscious, I saw, oh wait, I just fixed this thought, because I thought people are going to be like this, these things are not going to change, this will remain as it is, so I must not think about it. I must let it go. But why am I still thinking about it? So this is the moment when I paid much attention to it. I realized that whatever that was going on inside my head, it was not I wanted to think, it was something that was happening to me. Happening to me as in everything with which I had conditioned myself with, everything that has conditioned me previously, or in other word you may say karmas, all of your actions which you have done, which has happened to you, they have gone, but the residual impact of it, the experiences of those actions still remains inside me. And whenever I experience some similar situation, those experience comes out and it plays inside my head continuously. And that is the moment when I could see my mind thinking of something and my consciousness is watching it. I have already explained, I have already talked about it before in some videos as well, but this is a very profound experience where you can see your mind is, something is going on in your mind, but you are not the mind. You are somewhere different from the mind and constantly watching it. Now again, just because I already said, it is not going to make logical sense, because when I'm saying watching it, I cannot watch my mind, right? When I'm saying seeing it, I cannot see my mind. When I'm saying feeling it, I cannot feel my mind either. But it is something like that only, where you are seeing the mind, you are conscious about the mind, what is going on within you, but somewhere you know that it is not you. Somewhere you know that it is just happening to you on conscious level. Now this simple thing for next 10-20 days so far, whatever gone, every single time whenever something intense goes inside my mind, I always tell, this is just the game of the mind. This is the old recorded tape that is playing inside my head. All the karmas that I have had, all these things are playing inside my head. I just have to ignore it. I do not have to take it very seriously. But despite of that, you will find most of the time you are very much attached to your thought. You will feel that yes, this thought is not something separated from this thought, is me only. So whenever you feel like that, you get very intense about that. Whatever you are thinking, you get very intense about it. But the moment you separate yourself, you can easily understand this is just rubbish. Your mind is just playing this old recorded tape again and again, and you feel this is very true about you. But that's not the case. Now that is not the only case where I got rid of it, but in several cases as well, I mean, I should not share about all these things about me. Why should I do that? But the thing I wanted to talk about is, there have been several incidents in my life which were coming back again and again, and I used to feel very emotional about it. I used to feel very, broken, heartfelt, very bad about it, very sad about it. But the moment I realized this fact, next time I might not get that glimpse that I'm separated from my mind, but every single time what I did is every thought that went inside my head and created some kind of emotions within me, I told this is not the real thing, you just have to ignore it. And that is the moment I ignored it, and it did not came back. So that is what I felt. And one thing I realized out of it is that everything that you are doing unconsciously becomes a part of your karma. Karma generally means action, and every action that you do leaves some residual impact of it within yourself, in your memory system, not only inside your head, in your entire body as well. Now if you just do all those things consciously, then this residual impacts do not remain over there. It cannot go, it cannot sink deeper down into your memory system. Now directly it will not come to you, directly you cannot experience it, because when somebody does something to you, most of the time what comes into your mind is that person did it. Okay, first you will realize that whatever people do to you, it is not about them, it is about you. People can create some situation, people can create certain environment around you, people can do something to you, but what goes inside you is completely about you. But initially you cannot feel like that, because whenever you feel like that it is my creation, you will find that it is not your creation, you did not create it. You cannot lie to yourself. That person did to you, you know that person did to you, that person said to you, so you can blame that person clearly. But when you say I did it, you know that you did not do it, so you cannot even blame yourself. So right now you are in a place where you cannot go front, you cannot go back. But the truth is actually you did it to yourself, but you did it to yourself unconsciously. So unconsciously, as I already explained, it is about the karma aspect. So first realization that you will have is that I have done it, but I have done it unconsciously. That is the first realization. Then second realization is that you will get to know that I am doing it unconsciously, and if I do consciously, then slowly I can modify my memory, because whatever the memory right now I have gathered, those memories are only playing again and again inside my head. If I make myself happy, make myself joyful, make myself blissful at every moment of my life, irrespective of good or bad, in whatever happens in the future, these memories will play again and again, because that is the nature of your mind. Your mind is going to do that. If you try to control your mind, it is not going to be controlled, because over the time it has evolved to a certain stage that it will do whatever it is doing right now. But only thing is that you have to do your karmas consciously, so that whenever something goes wrong, whenever something goes good, whatever goes within you, that's master will be you only. You can take charge of that.